to people like DX, who are your top guys in the company as well. You put them with younger stars, DX being with Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase, and then you have the Legacy or at least do a beatdown on them. It makes them look more credible. Is where
so it's not the same as the Miz scene, is what you're saying.
Well, no, it's not the same at all. Not at all. No, totally different. It's the Legacy is actually being given a chance right now to look solid in a feud with two top main eventers, where the Miz was in a feud with a top main eventer and got nothing out of it. You know what I mean? So, the angle that was done last night is a perfect way to build two new stars like the Legacy. But
it was a perfect way to build this one particular match. It depends on what they do at SummerSlam as far as how much they're willing to be building Legacy right now, because that was just merely because this was the last Raw they had, and they hadn't done anything to put DX in trouble for people to want to buy the pay-per-view to see him, reign victorious on. So hopefully it's just not like a goofy joke stunted filled match and a squash for DX. Hopefully they figure some way out to keep Legacy strong after that, because they're laying down for that one. So
I think you get a good 20-minute match without a doubt at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. But no.
Well, I'm saying I hope it's not like DX versus Spear Squad, where the whole match is just like comedy, but it's in the form of a match instead of a microphone segment.
Right. I think it'll go back and forth at SummerSlam. You know what I mean? You're gonna try to build these guys up. But as far as the outcome of the match, I would say, the heels got the beat down on Raw this week, so if history proves itself, you know what I mean, DX will go over at the SummerSlam pay-per-view, and then I guess you keep it going after that, you know what I mean? At least, because you've got to keep it
but how does that keep it going if they, I guess.
You could do a finish with, Randy Orton's not going to interfere because he's got the match with Cena.
Legacy will just be bitter about losing and just not leave him alone after the match? Is that the angle?
Probably.
Or maybe DX will win the tag titles and Legacy will go after those, or Legacy will win the tag titles and DX will want those, and that'll keep it going. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that, but I think they need to keep that feud going. The Legacy and DX, like I said, man, if you want to build the Legacy, put them in a feud with two top main eventers on the Raw side, you know what I mean? DX is, one of the most popular groups in the history of WWE, so you throw them in there with two younger guys and continue to the feud. So
I like how the tag team match at SummerSlam for the unified tag titles is Big Show and Chris Jericho, which is not even a tag team, really, against Crime Time, and then the non-title tag team match is DX versus Legacy, which, why did they take the belts off Legacy? They should have just kept them on if they were planning on doing DX Legacy,
there you go. Keep the belts on the Legacy and then go from there. And then if DX were to win the belts at SummerSlam, obviously this can't happen.
Immediate rematch for the titles. So that keeps the going.
Yeah, and then it keeps it going for at least another month until the next pay-per-view. So yeah, I know Crime Time versus Jericho and Big Show at SummerSlam. Jeez,
I thought they were going to add Shaq to that as somehow get him involved in that match in some form or fashion. Now that it's just regular Crime Time versus Big Show and Jericho, I don't watch SmackDown. Have they been developing a storyline for that match at all?
You know what they're talking with Shaq, bro, is they're going to do a 3-hour Raw here in September, and they were going to build that up. Bonnie Hammer, who is in charge of the USA Network and Monday Night Raw, ratings haven't been all that good. I think Raw drew a 3.8. I believe this week. They had preseason football to go up against as well, but
that's up though from last week, right?
They were gonna give wasn't last week a 3.9? 3.6. It was a 3.9 and then a 3.6 and then a 3.8 this week. Yeah, so you're right. So it's up a little bit. But it fluctuates. NFL season's starting up too, you know what I mean? It's gonna be off and on.
Yeah, you heard September. I heard that it might be the Detroit show, the Detroit Raw, which would be Is Vegas the final Raw? No. Vegas is next week, and then there's the 31st as well, and that's Detroit. So I heard it was the 31st of August they might do Shaq versus Big Show in some kind of Raw special.
I heard it was
2 weeks
September.
after SummerSlam.
I heard it was September. Yeah, 2 weeks after SummerSlam, Las Vegas next week. Yeah, they could.
Detroit.
Coming off SummerSlam, the Raw coming off SummerSlam, that's where you'd want to start promoting, you know what I mean? But as a 1 week build for that match, enough, you know what I mean? So, well, they could plug a 3-hour Raw.
They only built it up for 1 week that he was going to be a host, and he drew like half a full rating point just from the little press that they got for that. And if he's actually wrestling in a live match on Raw, they get a lot more press, and 2 weeks is plenty of time to build that up for a TV, not a pay-per-view.
That's true, no doubt. But I had heard they were going to give that away on free pay-per-view or free TV to try to.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I'm not sure the date, but I've heard definitely that they're planning on doing that as a Raw special, like a.
Well, the thing about September, I think it's like the second week in September is the annual sweeps for TV. Where all
it could be September. I'm not sure about the date. I just that's one thing I heard. So
yeah, all the new programs come out are gonna launch here. Like the Oprahs. I have NBC on all day, so I'm gonna bring them. But like
when Jay Leno's new thing starts, doesn't it?
Yeah, soon. Sometime.
Yeah, every network puts their best foot forward on sweeps because you got to get the highest ratings because that's when advertisers determine the rates, or when you determine the rates for the advertisers. So that's how much you get paid for commercials. So you got to put your best shit out. Sweeps.
Yeah, and it's all new stuff. I mean, like they hype it up. This is going to be all brand new shows.
New Curb Your Enthusiasm. I know that starts in September. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I mean it's basically
it's the only TV show I watch.
What is it? What was it again? Curb Your
Enthusiasm. Yeah, Larry David.
That's right. Larry
best
David.
Show on TV. Easily the best show.
That and Weeds is the other one.
I hear that show. I've never seen it. I've never tried that one out.
Yeah,
Kevin Nealon.
You know what's got to come back is, what was the name of it? Larry, come on, what's his name? Kenny Powers?
Oh, Kenny Powers. Yeah, that's got it. Yeah, Eastbound and Down show. That's got it.
Eastbound and Down, that's the one. Yeah, no, that was hilarious, man.
That was an amazing show. You got me into that one. I thought, wow, I couldn't believe I didn't know that was on TV. That's one of my favorite guys, Danny McBride. I love that dude.
Is that who? I was just going to ask you. Danny McBride. Yeah, no doubt. He is hilarious, man. Hilarious. If you guys have never seen that, Eastbound and Out or Down?
Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down. Yeah, check that out. It's on HBO On Demand. If you guys have that, I'm sure they still got the old shows on there that we watched, no doubt. That stuff.
I got them downloaded and on demand. I watch that shit all the time.
That is hilarious.
Will Ferrell did a blatant Ric Flair impression on that show. Remember? Blatant.
I know in the car dealership there.
Blatant. He had the wig on. That was the exact hair. He had the suit, the glasses that were exactly the tinted glasses Flair had. He even did the line that he used to do in all his promos where he said his shoes cost more than your house. And he would do woo, woo. He had like his little weird twist on Ric Flair's woo, remember?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome when they were in the car there. You guys got to check that out. HBO On Demand if you get it. Eastbound and Down, no doubt. Hopefully they have a new season starting up.
The way it ended, it looked like they could, but I haven't checked in to see if that was just a special series or if that was a news show or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, that was the first season of it last year, so I'm sure.
Only 6 episodes.
Yeah, but I'm sure if it drew well, I'm sure there'd be no reason not to bring it back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know how it did, but there'd be no reason not to bring it back if it did draw well, and I can't see why it wouldn't. You know what I mean? I mean that was
it was critically considered pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Back to Monday Night Raw. Actually, let me do some quick plugs here. WZROnline.com/chat. Lots and lots of people in the chat room. We'll do chat shout-outs here in just a little bit. Like I said, Big Vito, former WWE, TNA, WCW, and ECW star, is going to be up here in hour number 2. So if you want to call him up, ask him about his time in whatever, ECW, WWE, TNA, the dress, whatever you guys want to ask him, give us a call. Get your calls in right now, and we'll take them here in hour number 2 when he comes up. The phone number is 724-444-7444. Call ID number is 30273, followed by the pound key. It's for you, Matty B.
The pound key. I think you realized it right when you were done, didn't you?
I know. I always do it. Once I'm all right with the number. I get to the number, and then I get to the call ID number, and I always, when I see that pound,
it's hard to read that many numbers in a row and not take a break, you know.
That's it's something, man. It's something because I do it every time.
Yeah. We were just talking about a lot of comedy shows. Getting back to Raw, this was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen, man. This Mickie James versus Gail Kim match, you didn't see the ending, I don't think, when I was talking to you, right? Because I remember...
I didn't know. I was typing to you. I was typing to you on
crap,
the...
how did you miss that?
Yeah, no, I was talking to you on the message thing, and you said, "Wow, what the hell was that, man?"
Well, I found out why it looked the way it looked. I'll tell you what I saw, and then I'll tell you what I heard so that it makes sense. I saw, okay, they're going in for the finish, and okay, Gail Kim hits a missile drop kick. This is all I see. She hits the missile drop kick. Mickey picks her up for the DDT, whatever her DDT finisher is, where it's like an implant DDT where you pick her up and drop her, you know?
Right.
So she goes to do that, and Gail Kim is dead weight. And she goes to do it, and they just fall down. So she picks her up, and I think she tries to do it again, and they just fall down again, and then Mickey just pins her anyway and wins. And you can see it on Mickey's face, like, what the fuck was that? Apparently, Gail Kim knocked herself out when she did the missile. I think it was when she did the missile drop kick. She knocked herself out or something with her own knee in her face, or she kicked herself, something, hit her head and knocked herself out. So she was out. And Mickey was trying to...
She got up at the end, didn't she? Because Mickey went over there and pulled her up, and she looked... I mean, she got back to her feet.
Yeah. No, she wasn't knocked out like, you know, Tim Sylvia knocked out in the Ray Mercer fight, but she was like loopy, you know, like Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania when he missed the shooting star, like that kind of knocked out.
Yeah, I could tell by the crowd reaction, because as soon as you said something, I went back to the TV, and Gail Kim was out laying on her back, and then Mickey James went over and kind of picked her up. And then I thought it was just a tease. Maybe it was just a tease for a Gail Kim heel turn here in the coming weeks. But then somebody else, in addition to you, messaged me and said, no, it was a big botched finish. So, yeah, I missed it, man. I can't even...
Yeah, it was amazing.
But, yeah, what else? John Cena, backstage interview. God. You know, 1 week, dude, he's fine. You know what I mean, with the serious promo.
With Orton, yeah, the one they're using on the video pack.
Yeah, the one where they were in the ring 2 weeks ago on Raw to open the show, I believe it was. And then, yeah, and then you get the Cena from last night where he just goes, you know, where it's directed towards 10-year-old kids. You know what I mean? And it's just, I wish they would either keep him serious or keep him corny. Obviously, I want him more serious, you know what I mean, for an older fan like myself. But it's just, it doesn't work. That corny stuff doesn't work. And even the crowd reaction. I mean, you could hear the crowd in that backstage segment just shit all over it. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants the John Cena that used to be a freestyle rap. You know, and not the corny John Cena. Some of the stuff back then was corny as well, but everybody wants that serious Cena. You know what I mean? And I think that would make him, you know, his reaction would be 10 times what it is if he was.
Yeah, but you got to think though, they love that mixed bag reaction he gets at, like never knowing if he's and his merchandise goes crazy because of the kids back there. But I think if he were to take on and adopt that serious style you're talking about, like full time, the kids would still love that because Cena is this generation's Hulk Hogan. I mean, this is Hulkamania we're watching right now, this John Cena run, and Hulk Hogan was great when he was serious. You know, he's the serious guy that's going to get the big bad enemy. You know, John Cena could do that, and it would please the general audience, but it would also please the younger audience that you know they're mainly trying to attract with him.
Yeah, and not only that, but I think the corniness that we see with John Cena, you know, a lot of that is directed at kids, and you just brought up merchandising, you know what I mean? But I think if we saw the serious John Cena as well, I mean, kids are still going to buy his merchandise, you know what I mean? I mean, like you said, he's a phenomenon right now, a new guy that's really, him and Randy Orton are just two new guys that have totally taken off, you know what I mean? New stars that,
Orton isn't in Cena's league yet, though, as far as star power.
I mean, if you were to turn Orton into a top face, I mean, he'd be over here. Maybe not as much as Cena.
Not as far as business, not as far as drawing TV ratings, drawing pay-per-view buys, selling merchandise. I don't think Orton's on his level in those regards. But as far as reaction from the fans and his character, is he the top heel? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's good. But I'm starting to get a little tired of that slow-moving stuff. You know, that's his big thing, where he moves his face all slow and his eyes and all that stuff.